First question.
Hello.
Oh, yes, love it.
Good to see you guys now. I know they wouldn't survive in the film, but if you could have like a pet sidekick familiar that was immortal for your character, could be a Pokemon even, who would you pick? Immortal, so no slashing.
I don't even think demons beside rats have allowed any animals to die in this film. I feel like that's the line. If he goes past that, he'll lose like a whole audience.
Right.
So I feel like they're safe. So it could be animals.
Yeah.
I used to have a cat. And
That's what I was going to say.
I'm always thinking of
You stole
familiar
my
as a cat.
answer.
I'm that's me being uncreative right now, but that was my first instinct, was the bagel kid, because I had a bagel.
I was going to say black cat. I love cats so much.
Would you dress it as a clown as well?
Oh, heck yeah. I volunteer at the animal shelter sometimes. I love cats. Maybe like a black cat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Great questions.
Hi. I have a question for both of you. I'm just curious about how much time it took to putting on hair, makeup, prosthetics, and all that for doing your parts, and then how long at the end of the day it would take to take all that stuff off.
You go first.
Okay, I will go, because mine will be the
Yours
most,
is crazy.
yeah. So I would get pre-called 4 hours before everyone else with my makeup artist. And my makeup artist, that meant that my special effects artist, Heather, would have to get there before me. So I'm just putting that in mind, because I wasn't the one who suffered the most. There was a lot of people who suffered. But 4 hours before, then everyone would get to set. We would do a normal filming day, which is 8 to 12, but we'll say 12 and beyond. And then it would take me 2 hours to get out of makeup. So I was 4, 12, 16, sometimes 18 plus 20-hour days, which for Vicky's makeup is difficult because it's a brutal process. Not having 2 eyes is not fun. So if you get an eyelash in your eye, you can't get it out for 20 hours. I've had swollen eyes. Yeah, I've had many eyelashes, many swollen eyes. And also you can't see, so I'm legally blind while I'm filming. So funny when I say this out loud. Even like to the degree that after I finished filming, there was about a month or 2 where my eye as I wake up wouldn't open. Because it was so used to being shut. There's so many videos of me complaining about this makeup. They always post this video, which is funny. But I love Vicky and I love the artist and David's creation. So I'm very honored to do it. But there was a lot of turnarounds where we would get turned around in 6 hours. So we'd do that, and 6 hours later, after I left set, I have to go home, shower, and then I have to turn around within that 6 hours. So it was a very independent filmmaking. How about you?
For me, getting my makeup done and everything took about 3 hours, and then getting it off at the end of the night took 3 hours. The most tedious part was probably the contacts. We had a contact lens specialist on set, and they'd have to numb my eyes with eye drops. And the type of contacts that they used were called sclera contacts. So instead of just covering like a small part of your eye, it covers the whole diameter of your eye. They're way over. So it was an interesting process.
Yeah, Jim Carrey had to wear this with the
Yeah.
Grinch. He complained about it. He said it was just awful.
Yeah, I was 10, and then they were constantly numbing my eyes, putting them in. And then the thing is, they can only stay in for like 20 minutes, 20 or 30 minutes, because if they're in for too long, your eye tissue cells start dying. So it wasn't like a in and out. It wasn't like an in for a while. They had to like take it in, put it back out. Oh, it was a process. And then the hair. It was hard at night, at like the middle of the night after we finished filming, to have to like comb out that teased up hair. But yeah, that was my process. Yeah.
Envy for the sclera.
Oh, by the way,
I couldn't see either.
Heather Albert, who did some of the
Yeah.
effects makeup on Terrifier 3, she was here last year.
I love Heather. That's
She's
my
so
girl.
sweet.
I tortured her during this process. Try doing makeup on an ADHD person for 6 to 8 hours. She's such a nightmare. I don't shut up.
Between you and David,
Oh
she's
God,
like,
she's a survivor.
Well, this one's for Samantha, but first of all, I really like your glasses.
You know?
Very cool. I think one of the serious things about when you were possessed by the pale girl, unlike with Amelia's character, is that you actually talk. And then there's this weird effect. Like, how much of that was you, and how much was that, like, did they feed your voice with somebody, or,
Yeah.
or it's just, it sounds just really weird.
It's a great question because a lot of people are like, "Oh, that was you." I'm like, I cannot go that low. I have a very deep voice, but that's like a whole other like octave. So my voice is always under there. The performance is under there, and then there was an amazing voice actor, male voice actor, who voiced the lines, and then I believe there's an effect that was done in post as well on top of that in some scenes. So sometimes it's just my voice, sometimes it's this other actor's voice, and then there's this other effect that's on top of that. Yeah, so it's a whole montage of, you know.
Well, I mean, I think it's meant to, the skills is when you're just shouting at Sienna, like, like the whole time, just combining both of that and this guy's voice and just the effects. It's just very unsettling, and that's one of the things I love about like your portrayal.
Oh, I appreciate that. He's a magician. He knows how to bring it all together. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you were still scary too, because we didn't talk.
Thank you.
So-
That was
Crazy.
silence.
Next question.
Hello.
Hi.
So for my high school, I have to be a very unpredictable, nonverbal character for a show coming up.
Oh.
And I was curious if you guys had any advice on how to be unpredictable with your mom in a show sense.
Are you wearing? Do you have a mask, or are you wearing?
I do not. I am wearing a monk robe.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say a lot of what really helped me with my performance, I think physically, was just kind of was the prosthetic, especially. There's something about it that it doesn't have to be necessarily prosthetic, like a face prosthetic. It could be an outfit. Like I even say, once you put a leather jacket on, for some reason that just changes the way that you move. And I think with any type of like endowing your outfit with some meaning, even if it's not known to anyone else but to yourself, that can give you some edge that then transforms you. You know, where you got, if it's robes, where you got those robes, the material that they are, how you came about that material. It's about activating the imagination. If you can do that, it all of a sudden there's like something that can kind of come in. It's not necessarily conscious, you know.
And you cook and all
I don't know, it came from nowhere. All those years of acting.
I was gonna say just like make creepy faces or whatever, like.
I'm a psycho.
No, like be unpredictable, like all of a sudden just make a creepy face or like make your body move. Like for me, like my wave was what was really unpredictable about me. So maybe have something like that, like a thing that you do.
Oh, you just made me think of something too. Always make it about the other person. Are you with people interacting?
Yes.
So when I was playing Vicky, I made it about the other people. I really wanted to mess with them. Because I don't mess with people. I like to think of myself as a nice person, like too nice, which is what gets me in trouble. So it's a way in which I was able to exercise that kind of other energy that's built up. And I had fun. I played. Like when I was with Lauren, I talked with her. And when we weren't in the scene, I would obviously drop it. But yeah, have fun, like play, and try to get a reaction out of people.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I think I did see an interview with you. I think someone asked you, did you do the crooked thing? You know, I didn't even realize I did it.
Oh, I
did.
That's the ADHD spasm too,
Yeah.
because like I'm always moving, and if you come to my table, you're talking to me, something will happen, and I'm moving always. So I think
Yeah.
that's a combination of like my makeup, but I had no idea. And I was like, oh, it's pretty cool.
And it makes sense because your character's kind of coming back to life, and that clicking sound they added just works great. So.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
So this one's for Samantha.
Good to
What
see
did you what did you think when Damien approached you with that whole idea of the glass shard scene in Terrifier 3?
I love that you're asking that. So, by the way, this is going to be a brilliant filmmaker one day. I'm just going to say that. Try to have a conversation with him, and you're not going to want to stop because you know your shit. Like I was like, damn, how did you know that? And I also you were educating me at the table. Great question. I had been in both Terrifiers at that time.
Yeah.
And it had been many years, and I already was privy to the world. We had already done some crazy stuff, and I just like, oh yeah, whatever. Like I read it, it said, she will do this, and then it said in parentheses, will be done tastefully. So I obviously had the conversation with Damon, and I was like, what are we doing? Damien shows a lot. He's like, we won't see anything, it's just more your imagination. So I was like, fine, game. But I love pushing boundaries. I love making myself uncomfortable. That sounds weird, but I think as an actor, the beauty is you get to get pushed to your limits and see what you're made of, and then in a safe space, you know, where it's, and especially on Terrifier, Damien has created such a safe space for all of us that we can go to our limits and then some, and you learn a lot about yourself in the process, and that's why I love acting so much. So I was definitely very game. I was excited. I was like, I hope people come and talk to me about this and ask these questions, because if they forget, I will have felt like I went through all that weirdness for nothing. So thank you for asking.
Thanks.
But yeah, great question.
Thank you.
Hi. I feel like you've addressed this a little bit already, but this is a question for both of you, and I was wondering if you have any tips for like getting into the headspace of your characters.
Method acting is something that everyone uses as like a very dirty word, but I don't see it that way per se. I really feel like when I take on a role, Vicky actually in one was very difficult because that was a very realistic, grounded performance that I had to try to, you know, bridge the gap between myself and her. But I try to do as much work as I can. I try to get off book, all the technical stuff, but then I really try to, you know, Lauren speaks to it beautifully when representing Sienna. She, you know, did research, she called places, and she tried to speak to people who maybe had been through stuff that she hadn't been through. And I have the same approach. I try to get myself in the world of that individual with no judgment, and compassion, leading with compassion. But, and that's usually how I approach roles. And then when I get to set, I try to get out of the way of what wants to come through on the day. But for Vicky, like I said, I think there is a line for people. They usually know it, of how far they want to go, or how long they want to go into something that's dark. And I knew with Vicky in 3 that was just the area that I was. I'm a very sensitive person, so I was like, there's a line that I don't want to go too deep. Because if you're in that for too long, it can affect you. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, especially with the little pale girl, I watch art decline a lot. So I would say if you have a role, try to like watch other people that are similar to that and get some inspiration from them. I always like to say, put yourself in their shoes. Like I get auditions all the time. It might not be something that I relate to, but I try to put myself in that person's shoes and like make up a narrative for them, like what they're going through. So yeah, put yourself in their shoes and compare, watch some videos, get some inspiration from other people and things.
I think that's the exciting thing about acting, to go up the point, is that
That's what I love about acting.
Yeah, we live very limited lives. Like I'm very specific. From Connecticut, I live in New York.
Yeah.
As if you only exist in that world, it's an echo chamber of everything you've ever experienced. You don't really meet many people outside of that unless you travel. So I think for acting, it's always been a beautiful thing to dive into roles where you're embodying other people from different nationalities or different backgrounds or different, you know, if you grew up wealthy and you got to play someone who's in poverty, it really, if you allow yourself to go there, it creates a lot of empathy within you, and you can connect even deeper with people that you may not have if you stayed kind of in your own world. So that's, yeah.
That's what I love. Like, that's my favorite part of acting. It's just the fact that you get to like play so many different types of people that you would never expect to play. Like understand what they're going through.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So what's next for acting for both of you? Do you have any projects that you're working on you can actually talk about?
I'm really focusing right now. So I didn't officially leave acting, but in 2019 I switched over to directing.
Yeah.
And that was my focus. I came back for Terrifier 3, and that's definitely led to offers and opportunities. But I'm being very specific about what I take because I really want to focus on, you know, the conventions have been really beautiful. I get to meet people, I get to travel, I get to, and then I get to focus on writing, and that's really the next step for me, is to get these stories that I want to tell out there in the world and work with amazing artists that I have got to meet now over the years. And yeah, that's where I'm focusing my attention.
Yeah, I agree. I said I'm being very specific. I'm focusing right now a lot on conventions. I think this is like my 30th
No way.
convention.
Wow.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, which is crazy. I love conventions, and you can always rely on them. And I know that I can always fall back on conventions, and I love meeting all the fans. That's like what makes me so happy is meeting everybody. Everyone's just so sweet. So
You're in school full time.
yeah, I am a junior in public high school,
Oh, wow.
and so I go through a week of school. I leave school on Friday, hop on a plane, come to a convention, leave Sunday night, usually fly a red eye, back to school. And I play volleyball for my school.
Hustler.
Wow, playing volleyball?
Yeah, school volleyball.
Yeah, she literally doesn't sleep. But
Practice every day, if not, practice a game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, school, volleyball, conventions, and then I am auditioning for things too. So,
That's great.
yeah,
Yeah,
whenever I
definitely
go
get one.
meds. I was also in General Hospital, the soap opera, which is
Yeah.
crazy. It's like the opposite of Terrifier 2, slasher,
Yeah.
horror, and then soap opera.
What does the General Hospital cast think of your role in these movies? Like, have you tried them out?
I don't think we've ever had a conversation about it,
No.
but it's so funny seeing like the crossover. Like sometimes at these conventions, there will be someone and like their mom will be with them, and they'll be like, "Oh, I know you from General Hospital." Or sometimes, in very rare cases, they're fans of both the movies. I'm like, "Dang, that's so cool. You like it all."
Love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Melanie, Samantha, thank you so much for coming out today and doing this. Make sure to visit them at their booths, and we'll do the selfie. I'll come up to the front stage.